Okay, so with the editing process, how do you go from just having a bunch of footage to then telling a full story? Like, what is your process in it?
Do you want like the technical side of it? What are you asking?
I kind of want to see, like, what is your thought process when you go into an edit of, like, okay, we just got back from Thailand. How do I figure out the story and then put the story together?
So, what most people, what good editors will tell you, what like Mark Bone does, and the editors he works with, I believe Lucas Harger, however you say his last name, I believe he does this as well. They do what's called the spine. They go through and they create a spine of the story. They know they want this interview here and this interview here, this interview clip here, and then they create that and they build the story around it.
Okay.
I'm not a good editor. I don't do that. I work chronologically. I have always done this. I don't know why. But I start with the intro, and then I get an idea for the outro, and then I work chronologically to put it together.
Okay.
So this time I had an outline of, I know I want this guy's interview here, then this guy, and then this guy, and this part of the story, and then this sequence, and then this interview. And so I knew, like, I had the outline done.
Yeah.
Just literally just written out in the notes app on my phone. But I didn't have, like, a spine of the story. I went through and I knew I needed to start with Enoch's interview, so I grabbed his interview.
Yeah.
And I cut all of me talking out of it, had his parts, and then I highlighted his best parts that I knew I was going to need.
Yeah.
And then the ones I knew I needed first, I went ahead and put in my timeline. So I had a
Gotcha.
separate timeline for them, and I created a separate sequence, separate timeline for each interview. And then, again, what good editors do is they create a separate sequence for the B-roll. I didn't do that. I just scrubbed through footage.
God bless you.
I don't know if the way I did it's the right way or the wrong way. That's the way I've always done it.
Whatever works for you, man.
I could probably learn the right way to do it.
Well, I mean, it's a lot to do with what you're comfortable with. Like, that's going to be the most, like, natural.
Which, honestly, a lot of it has to do with I have a relatively decent memory, and I quite literally
Don't say decently. You have a stupid good memory.
I memorize, as stupid as it sounds, I memorize nearly every single shot, and then as I'm doing that, like, I hear the interview, and he'll say something like, I was walking up a bridge, and I'll go, oh, I got this shot on this day at this time, and it was in this clip. Let me go find it. And I'll go through and I'll find it. I'll cut it out and I'll put it there. And then I'll listen to the interview, and he'll say something like, and we all did this. We went to the coffee shop and we did. And so I'm like, okay, there's a coffee shop. Let me go find that shot. And then I'll go to the folder and scrub through till I'm, okay, that's the shot I was thinking of.
Yeah.
And I'll cut it out and I'll put it in place. And I just go in order like that. And so I end up typically, unless it's like a super fast edit, I typically have nearly every sequence memorized, and I can look at the timeline and tell you what shot's what without actually scrubbing through it.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
So it's probably the wrong way to do it. It's probably not the right way to be editing. I should probably...
It's probably the least efficient.
Well, it's efficient for me.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I know the shots.
Yeah.
Like, if I was editing someone else's work, I would have to do it the other way.
Yeah, true.
I wouldn't have a choice, but I'd have to create a separate sequence and scrub through it, cut all the, the camera shakes and the stuff out that I don't need, and have all the good pieces. But I know what I shot. I know where the shot is. I know what that is. I know there was a sound of a bus and this shot when we were by this street and I need that sound, so I'll go find that clip and I'll cut it out and use the sound.
Yeah.
Like, I just have it all in my brain somewhere.
Yeah, no, startled me. It literally makes no sense. Like, video editing makes no sense. But Godspeed to every single editor out there. You're doing the Lord's work.
For anyone editing for their nonprofit, I would highly recommend not doing it that way. Unless you already are, then just keep going.
Yeah, just keep it going. Keep it afloat. Okay. You said that,